SpaceX and NASA just leaked new Moonbase for 2024. Welcome to TechZen. Let's unfold the whole information that we have collected in this video. Stay tuned, friends! By 2024, SpaceX and NASA will have built a new moon base. Greetings, space enthusiasts! Welcome aboard, and today we'll take a quick tour of Moon and look into ways to conquer it in the future. So, assuming you're in good health, let's fire a rocket. It has been decades since a man stepped foot on the Moon, and many countries have aspired to do it since 1961. In and of itself, NASA's Apollo mission in the 1960s was a watershed moment. They did safely, nearly, but it's hard to imagine they were able to send humans to the Moon with only 4 kb of RAM. Yes, that's true, and our smartphones these days seem to have less than 6 gig of RAM. Despite the fact that technology is improving all the time, no one has ever considered sending people to Lunar again. Strange, right? Now, NASA and SpaceX have teamed together to not only bring humans to the Moon, but also to populate there in early 2024. Apollo's identical twin sister, Artemis, named after the Greek goddess and Apollo's twin sister, is a NASA project that aims to return mankind to the moon base and memorialize the Apollo voyage. It won't be easy, but it won't nearly be as difficult as it was in the 1960s, because technology has improved dramatically, far beyond anyone's wildest dreams. In the chase of Moon, some people barely made it, while some died. People, on the other hand, aren't ready to give up on their ambition of creating an environment on the Moon. This will be a reality in this decade as people will spend time on the lunar surface. The goal of the program is to conquer the Moon and construct a base camp there. The main goals of the Artemis program are to launch a manned expedition to the Moon and establish a permanent human presence on the lunar surface. The Artemis base camp mission's main goal is to establish a community near the Moon's south pole. This base arrangement will assist future deep space missions and will be critical in supporting NASA and SpaceX's Mars mission. When it came to bidding for the contract to develop and build a spacecraft capable of landing on the Moon, SpaceX totally smashed the competition, which included Blue Origin and Dynetics. NASA has given SpaceX a $2.9 billion contract to design and build Starship replica. Elon Musk's flagship rocket was being developed to help him reach his goal of reaching Mars. It will be replaced and extended to include lunar landings. The difference between normal and HLS, or Human Launch System spacecraft, is the lack of a heat shield and an air brake. Because Moon does not have a warm atmosphere at the moment of landing, special thrusters are constructed for HLS to take off from the surface. The journey ahead, Artemis, is NASA's vision of the future as a driving force for technological advancement and modernization that will one day assist in landing on Mars. The goal is to create a long-term infrastructure, such as a base camp that may be used as a stopover for long voyages. That's simply one step in the direction of going over the limit. The first launch from Earth will orbit the Moon in about 3 days thanks to SpaceX's HLS Super Heavy rocket. Then simply walk into orbit and await the arrival of the astronaut crew, which will be carried by NASA's SLS, or Space Launch System Orion, which will carry 4 astronauts from Earth. SpaceX's HLS is expected to act as a conduit for personnel traveling from lunar orbit to the Moon's surface and back. The HLS is meant to dock with NASA's Orion or Lunar Gateway space stations in orbit and transport astronauts to the Moon's surface. 2 people will stay in the lunar entrance, while the other 2 will land in the gravity well with the Starship HLS. The first mission will take around a week, during which time numerous tests will be conducted and the surface will be explored. After 2 weeks, the crew is reunited with the remainder of the crew at the orbital entry. Following NASA's requirements for putting up a base camp, the base camp will be positioned at the South Pole region of Moon, Shackleton Crater, which is dark, filled with frozen water, practically in shadow, and exposed to sunlight. It's supposed to work. Elon is also interested in that region, so it's a fantastic base. watermarks, enough sunlight to keep solar-powered equipment working, and somewhat harsh temperatures make the area ideal. The camp itself will be a safe haven for the astronauts, and everything is being prepared with their survival in mind. NASA has already selected SpaceX as the company that will land Americans on the moon. People will be dispatched to explore more of the moon as part of NASA's Artemis program, and the agency has picked SpaceX to continue developing the first private manned lander, which will carry the next 2 American astronauts to the lunar surface. One of those astronauts will be the first woman to walk on the moon according to history. The Artemis mission also seeks to land the first person of color on the moon's surface. NASA's powerful Space Carry System rocket will launch 4 astronauts on the Orion spacecraft for a multi-day journey into lunar orbit. For the final phase of their voyage to the moon's surface, the 2 crew members will be transferred to the SpaceX Human Landing System. After spending roughly a week exploring the surface, they will board the lander for their brief journey into orbit, where they will meet with Orion and his colleagues before returning to Earth. The total award value of the firm fixed-price, milestone-based contract is $2.89 billion. Kathy Lutters, Associate Administrator for NASA's Human Exploration and Operations Mission Directorate, said with this grant, NASA and its partners will accomplish the first crewed demonstration journey to the surface of the moon in the 21st century. This significant step forward puts humanity on the path to long-duration lunar exploration while keeping our sights set on missions further into solar system, including trips to Mars. I think it will. Following the successful launch of SpaceX's Crew 2 mission, which is under contract with NASA's Commercial Crew program and is bringing 4 men to the International Space Station, Musk said at a news conference on April 23 that I feel 2024 is a good bet. He continued, "We're going to try to get there early." In fact, Musk estimates that by 2023, Starship, a large reusable rocket-spaceship combination, will be regularly transporting passengers. Obviously, we shouldn't be creating the crater. He continued laughing. I still have a lot of work to do, but I'm getting there. We need to make sure that innovation moves quickly and that it is available in a few years. The Trump administration approved NASA to conduct the first crewed Artemis landing by 2024, according to a report released in 2019. Experts have regarded the timetable unduly aggressive, and it isn't clear whether it will be met under President Joe Biden. Elon Musk believes it is achievable given the company's Starship deep space transportation system, which NASA chose for Artemis's crewed lunar landing. What factors influence NASA's decision to work with SpaceX? SpaceX has already completed contracts with NASA. They've developed from a small startup to the world's largest aerospace firm in the last 2 decades, launching cargo and astronauts at a rate that rivals national space agencies. NASA presently entrusts its astronauts' lives to SpaceX in order to reach the International Space Station, relies on the company to supply the station, and entrusts NASA's most valuable research missions to its rockets. If Starship is successful in returning humans to the lunar surface, it will be the ultimate confirmation of the public-private partnership paradigm. NASA will receive a lunar lander for a quarter of the cost of an Apollo-era lunar module, and SpaceX, a private business, will gain autonomous access to the lunar surface, which was formerly a country's only domain. Both entities will travel at the same rate towards Mars. With many experts concerned about the issue of population growth, Elon Musk's proposal of constructing a colony on Mars appeals to many. However, many individuals are raising ethical concerns, such as whether we have the legal authority to do so, and a slew of other difficulties. Predicting what will happen in the future is extremely tough. NASA is on the approach of making history by not only flying humans to the moon, but also establishing a camp there, thanks to government funding and the partnership with SpaceX. It could, however, aid in the exploration of the possibilities of living in space and lead to a new business of mining for the valuable precious materials present on the lunar surface. In comparison to what we've done to our planet, it feels incredible. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching this video. 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 Than Make sure to hit like and subscribe to this channel for more interesting information.